Hello, and welcome to another episode of Barely Christian, where two friends talk about one faith. I'm Curtis. This is my bestie May. I'm trying to put your head in between my hands. And she is a church girl, and we are here to chat. We are here to chat. And unlike, I know, I can't wait till we get like, our subscribers are building, but I can't wait till it gets to a number where they're like, all right, you can stop telling us this now, but I'm going to say we don't talk about the topics, but today is different. There was actually something that came up, before we started recording that we are going to talk about. So the topic today is fasting. Oh yes, and then when we start getting graphics and the drink go fasting. That's gonna be lit. So I wanted to talk about fasting because today is actually day 2 of a unintentional fast. What happened or what encouraged it? Also, I want to start by saying I'm not an avid faster, so I think that's why I haven't or we haven't really spoken about it so far in all of the episodes. We're in season 3, which is so crazy.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about fasting. But so yeah, not an avid faster, but here we are doing it. So the Lord is having us talk about it. So it is the first week. Yeah, the first week of a new month. The bills is paid. Some of them.
All of them.
All of them. And because they're all paid, I woke up to my account being $0. And I was like, okay, well, I have everything I need, but I don't know what's next.
Yeah.
So I decided to fast. And I decided to fast not for more money, but to fast because I wanted to acknowledge that money not having, right? Not having, because more will come, but not having it in that moment was not going to ruin my mood.
Yeah.
So yeah. So again, it was unintentional, but I looked at the account, thought about the day. I knew I didn't have anything to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew I didn't have to be around people. I didn't have to socialize. I didn't have to spend money or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I could do it. So yeah, I did it yesterday. It was great yesterday. And actually, I just told a fib because I actually did have a photo shoot. But my photo shoots are like outside, and so there's always constant moving. So if we were in a studio, that could probably be an issue, maybe. But again, it's in my neighborhood. We're outside, so I can move the energy. I'm not thinking about food or whatever or this or that. So I actually had a photo shoot yesterday and made it up till 6 p.m. Oh, and also, I didn't eat until 6 p.m. I only drank liquids. I had a lot of water. I think I had 1 cup of tea, and then towards the end of it, I had a cup of Gatorade. But there was no food, and I did not listen to secular music yesterday, and I only watched sermons or Christian-based content.
Okay.
I'm doing it again today. Not sure how long I'm gonna go. But also, one thing I wanted to say about yesterday is I didn't eat until 6, and a friend had offered to buy me dinner the night before when I told him about my account. And I was like, I only like to take favors unless I like really need it. Like, unless I've ran out of like options. I'm not a person that just. So I was like, okay, my account is at 0. I want to celebrate myself. So he ordered me food, and I wanted a burger. And the restaurant he ordered from actually had a 2-for-1. So I felt like that was a good job from God, being like, here's a 2-for-1. So double for your trouble.
For sure.
So I wanted to talk about fasting, and what I've noticed so far in this fast is that I've gained, people always talk about it. You gain clarity, but
Yeah.
one thing that I've noticed in the last 2 days is that I'm not quick to respond. I'm
You
not
don't have
quick
the
to, huh?
you don't have the energy,
I don't have, I don't
which
have
is
the
good.
energy.
Yeah, you
No,
don't
for
have.
real, yeah. I don't have the energy. So when I receive a text, I like read it.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm like looking at the words and I'm like, this says this.
yeah,
Now you can say what you want to say. So that's
yeah,
been fun. And then seeing it just play out well. Like
yeah,
that person said this. I'm going to say this. We come to an agreement instead
yeah,
of responding so fast that I didn't even read the text. I didn't even sit with it. I miss things, we misread things, or we read into things. So
yeah,
that clarity has been cool. Like, oh yeah, I like after I send the text, I'll be like, yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Like,
yeah,
I'm not missing anything. I didn't leave anything out, is what I wanted to say.
yeah.
I said
I,
a lot just now, but it's heavy on my heart as I'm doing it in the process.
yeah,
But
yeah.
do you fast, man? Do you often fast?
I do. I fast. I started fasting like last year.
Yeah.
Uh, for me, it is all of that. It's all of the things that you said, but it is also very oh, it's good to because me and my relationship with food, like everybody has a different relationship with food. Some people don't.
Mhm.
People eat to live. Some people eat for the taste. Some people
Mhm.
overeat and
Mhm.
indulge. I'm some people. No, let me stop. But I have like a relationship with food where it's based on like comfort eating. Like I'm a comfort eater.
Yeah,
Um,
I am too.
I have an endocrinologist. I have all these doctors that are helping me with my eating habits and my weight control. And, I've been on a journey with my eating slash weight for like half of my life. So it's
Mm.
kind of different with me when it comes to fasting, especially now that I've started to do it because it's really more of like a sacrifice is what it feels like because it's like whenever I feel like a hunger pain or like I want to eat or I want to have something sweet or I want to indulge in whatever they have in the office that day or if I you know whatever I work in an office where it's always constant like treats and everybody's dropping this off and that off. So it's like very much sacrifice when it's time for me to fast. And it's like, nope, I cannot have that. Like literally one time I went to like last year, my son, they used to have like family cafes. So
Mhm.
like Friday they would do a family cafe, not every Friday, the first Friday of the month or something like that. And it would be like the parents come, they talk about the curriculum, they talk about all this, and they'll have like sweets and snacks and like donuts and coffee and stuff. And
Yeah.
so for one time, I literally was standing there about to get the donut, like put everything on my plate, like about to throw down. And then I made my coffee. I do liquids or whatever,
Yeah.
but I stay away from sugar. And so one of the moms was talking to me about something, and I went to go like bite the donut. And I literally remembered, like, girl, you're fasting. Like, I literally spit it out.
Those moments are funny.
And she was looking at me like I was crazy. Like, what's wrong? I'm like, oh no. I'm like, no, I forgot I'm fasting today. Like, it was so awkward. Like, seriously, y'all. Like, when I
Those
tell y'all,
moments are funny.
the
Yeah.
whole yank that donut out of my mouth. Like, so it was so, like, because I know, like, before I do it, like, before I start my day or before I end my night, I always pray. And especially when I'm fasting, I try to pray more. And
Hmm.
so for being like, all right, today I'm gonna be serious, God. Like I'm not gonna eat until 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whatever time I set. So like I take it real serious when it's time to because it's like it's a sacrifice, you know what I mean? And
It is.
my cousin, she's Muslim and they do Ramadan. every year. I don't know if it's twice a year. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But I know that they definitely fast for Ramadan. And he was explaining to me one time, because I was like, why are you even doing it? Like, I know he was at a cookout. He was like, can't eat. And I'm like, why? And she started to explain to me the importance of denying your flesh, that God can see your sacrifice. You know what I mean? And she's like, think about all the people that can't eat at all. Like, they don't even have a choice. Like, it's not an option. They don't have food. They're not able to do it. So she just really like gave me some insight. And this was years ago. I was not really on the path that I'm on right now. So every time I do about that, I think about the sacrifice. And yes, that's Muslim practices, but we all serve one God. Sorry. And so
no, sorry.
to respect other people too, right? Because
oh my God, wait, I'm sorry. Can we call this episode "Sorry Not Sorry"?
Yeah, if you want, if you write it down and remember.
Thank you. Drag me.
As a Christian, barely, I think it's important to respect other people's religions too, right? And to respect, learn from their religions, because that's the whole thing. You know, you can't beat down somebody else's thing and expect them to respect yours. But that's a whole nother episode. So yeah, I learned a lot from that, from my Muslim cousins and their how serious they are about fasting and how important it is to deny your flesh something that you absolutely want, crave, need, or feel like in that moment to show God, like, I'm doing this so that you can recognize how serious I am. You know what I mean?
I love that. And I love that you use the word sacrifice, because it really is, because the truth is, you know, I just shared, I was transparent that I don't have the money, but I also, there's a knowing that if I reached out to someone, that they would buy me lunch or, you know, take care of me. Even knowing that my friend offered me dinner the night before, I didn't write him to possibly buy me dinner until maybe like 2:00 yesterday. Right. So again, waking up knowing that resources are available and still being like, this is what I'm doing for myself and also for others, right? When you, again, I love that word. I love that you brought up the word sacrifice, because again, the fast yesterday, again, wasn't just for me. It was also, I was sacrificing for, you know, other people in my life, really, who are also, experiencing things and don't have the time. To your cousin's point, she said it in the sense like other people who don't have the food, right? So it's not even an option. So it's like, if I know that I have this schedule and this time to sacrifice to fasting, and it can honor my life and the life of like other people around me, I'm down.
Yeah. I mean, it's so special. So a lot of people, and it's funny, so many people ask me about fasting. I don't know if it's because of my relationship with food. Maybe they know, like, she's a foodie. She likes to eat. She's a girl. Like, so, because a lot of people reach out to me and ask me about fasting. I always point them back to Matthew 6, right? Because Jesus is in there and he talks
about... What does Matthew 6 say?
I don't know exactly what it says, but he talks about...
No, I'm not asking you to...
He talks about fasting. He breaks it down.
Got you.
One thing that sticks out to me though, that I do remember every time too, is he does talk about when you do fast, right? Be careful not to fast and have like, I think he says, wake up, wash your face, put oil on your face. Basically, I think he says put oil on your face. Every translation is different, right? Look it up. Right. Oh, I thought she was grabbing the Bible. He does say put oil on your face.
Barely.
Right. In my mind, when he said that, I feel he's saying make sure you make yourself presentable, right? And then he said like don't like fret around all day, like have an attitude or be sad all day. Like it's like if you're gonna do that, you might as well not even fast because
I love that attitude. Your
yeah,
attitude around it.
yeah, you're not really honoring me with an attitude all day because you're
Yeah.
hungry.
That's
So,
true because oh sorry.
no, I'm sorry, but just remember to keep your spirits up while you fast because
Yeah.
it's a you're wanting to do it, right? Nobody's making you do it.
It's a
So
sacrifice.
yeah, like you six, Jesus is talking in there. You know, I stay in the books where Jesus is because I need to be like Jesus. I love Paul, Peter, and everybody, but I need to know what Jesus. So I stay in those books, right? So he definitely was like if you're gonna fast, do it with a smile on your face. Be happy about the
Mm,
be happy that you're able
wow.
to do it. And I'm paraphrasing Jesus' word, but he definitely said like do it,
Yeah,
you
do
know,
it happy. I love that.
do
No,
it
because you just
yourself. The oil on your face, when he said oil on your face or whatever it is that he said, not whatever, but the word that he said,
yeah.
that made me feel like he's like, get yourself together. Like,
Get
don't
yourself
let anybody don't
together.
do it because you're doing it.
That's so true
You know,
because
so you're
I shared with you that I had the photo shoot yesterday. I didn't
yeah.
like when they came, like when the person came, I wasn't like, I'm fasting today. I just want you to know if my
Yeah,
energy
so
is off.
you attitude, I'm fasting today. You know, like you can share it with people. It's good to share it with people.
Yeah,
Like when I
but
told you, I spit out the donut because I was looking like a crazy person. That's the only reason.
yeah,
But you're like, I'm like, oh man, I hate this
but
fasting.
it would have been, and I don't know if this is correct, but correct me if I'm wrong. But to what you're saying, when you bit the donut and then spit
Mm-hmm.
it out,
Mm-hmm.
and she asked you what was wrong,
Yeah, yeah.
and you never mentioned fasting, that would have put would that do you think that would have put like a negative or embarrassing thing towards fasting?
Yeah, yeah, or yeah, exactly. Like,
Like you're
or
happy, you know what you're doing. You're standing 10 toes down in it. That you're willing to say, "Oh no, like this is what
like,
I'm
no,
doing."
no, no, I can't do this because I made a promise to God. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like
There you
you're broke
go. There you
word that
go.
I'm not trying to put it on me like, oh, I feel like when you fast, or I think, and again, it's all interpretation, right? We
For
all
sure.
read the Bible our own, but what I got from it was that God is saying when you are literally acting, and I'm gonna use that word, like you're gonna die because you didn't eat in the last hour. It's like just go ahead and give you're you are pissing me off because you want somebody to be like, what's wrong? You want the attention. Where
Yeah.
when you're fasting, you're supposed to be giving the attention to God.
Ooh. Am I pushing it by? That makes me think about the woman with the issue of blood, and
Mm-hmm.
recently the episode where you talked about the man who was blind, right, who couldn't see,
Mm-hmm.
right.
Mm-hmm.
These people, those people, did not make their issue
Yeah.
a issue. Ooh,
No, they didn't make it. They didn't make it a big deal.
they didn't
They
make
were
it a big
going through it,
deal.
and the reason why they were blessed is because God saw that they were going through it, and they were not broadcasting it as if it was
A
like
personality.
I said, like or if it, yeah, because we have some
Yeah.
people, right? And some of us have been there. I know I have, where
Yeah.
it's like get the attention from the negativity. So and I don't know if I want to call it negativity,
I
but
know what you're saying though. Gotta keep living
you
it.
get
So.
you get the attention from this
Mm-hmm.
thing, right? From this
Mm-hmm.
crazy situation, or from this condition or this issue. You get the attention from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
instead, you lean into it and you make that your personality. And I think that that's the thing with fasting. When you do that, when you're like, oh, I'm just so tired, girl, I've been fasting. I'm just like, it's like, okay, what you want me? You want the burger? Because baby girl, this is your choice, right? It's supposed to be something that you do. So that's what I always, and my friend Quasia, she just finished fasting too. She did a fast for 10 days.
Oh,
She
interesting.
a lot of clarity from it, and she her experience was really good. I need to like record her explaining
I love
before I
her
do.
so much. And
Yeah, I want
to know her personality and to associate her personality, like in a worldview of sacrifice, you'd be like,
yeah.
a girl like that would never sacrifice because she
You
is
know,
so, oh my, full of energy. Like,
like she is so like pouring into her is so good because she
yeah.
is so that girl, right? And
And
so
she's always been that.
she's so that girl, and she fast, and she went on this whole thing. But before she was gearing up to fast, we had a conversation, and I told her all of this too. I'm like, look, if you're gonna fast, fast.
Yeah.
Don't do it if you're not about it. Like, don't do it if you're going to make it like a negative thing, or if you're going to make it like you can't do it, or you're going to, like, if that's the case, it's like you're not giving glory to God. You're not, it's one thing if you're like medically can't do it, but if you like literally are trying to see breakthrough in your life and you really want to show God your sacrifice and you really want to try what it's like to open up your relationship with God, I definitely recommend fasting. I think that is something that you'll be so proud of how far you can really go with it, and you start to hear God and talk to God, and it's like it's really magical for me. Like I've had experiences with
Yeah.
fasting, and it's like, whew. And then like the downloads that you get are awesome.
Man.
So awesome. Like the revelations that you get from reading the Bible. So one thing, right? Also, I do recommend when you fast to make sure that in those moments when you feel hungry or sad or depleted or like that you pray, read the Bible, open up your app, just look through it, worship, praise. Those things will pull you through. That's why I was trying to
Not the
throw in
light
some songs.
change. God is listening. You see my light change?
I was sending you music the other day because I was getting like some mornings when,
Yeah.
because I always try to make sure that I'm like I have my time with God, but sometimes, right, and God, please understand me when I say this, but sometimes I don't have time to sit and be like, let's do this hour, let's read
Yeah.
the Bible. Like sometimes I get going. So in those times I like to just like praise and worship while I'm getting ready. So at least it's like I'm still giving you the glory, God. I want you to hear that I'm like praising you, but I just really
Yeah.
don't got time to sit and read the Bible for an hour or 20
And
minutes. I
that's
gotta get
okay.
dressed. Like,
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
right. But I feel like when fasting too, sometimes if you just really don't got it to just like open the Bible, or you reading but ain't nothing connecting, you just like maybe just turning on the praise and worship,
Mm-hmm.
listen and be sermons like you did. I feel like that was perfect that you did it the other day or yesterday. Just, keeping your spirits up and filling it up, because after a while you do start to notice you're snappy, you got an attitude, me.
Yeah,
I'm
it
so grown
changes.
up.
It changes.
Have
Your energy literally shifts.
so you said
And
this
you
on
realize, oh, not us both pointing to each other.
you said this on one episode when you were like, if you're best have something to eat or something like that. You was like, if you got an attitude, maybe you're just hungry. Remember you said
Mm-hmm.
that? It was one episode we was said that you and your dad used to joke on that. So it's like, yeah, sometimes when you deny yourself that food, the monster's out.
The monster is out. I also just wanted to offer that, like, because I know sometimes, especially in this internet world, people take things literally
Yeah.
or they take it in like one stance.
Or the wrong con
Fasting, the wrong context as well. When you're fasting, there are so many things we can fast from. Everybody, it's subjective. So
Yep.
in this story, in this context, in this episode, we're talking about food. It can
Yeah.
be anything.
Yeah.
Anything. I'm
hmm
gonna leave it there.
Because everybody has different things. You know what I mean? You might
Yeah.
have a problem with Instagram, being on there and scrolling it, can't get off it. You literally wake up, get on it, go to sleep on it. That might be your thing.
Yeah.
That's not my thing. I could
That's
be
not
on it.
my.
Put it down, pick it up, put it back. Some people might not have issues with food. Some people might can turn themselves on and off. It just depends. It's a personal thing, and I
Yeah.
think that's I'm glad that you made that point, Curtis, because because it's not always food. Generally it's food, but if you feel called to fast, your phone,
People. Yeah.
uh, certain stuff, if you feel called to do that, or just like, I'm not going to have an attitude today. I'm not going to be angry today. That's also fasting, especially if that is your go-to mood. If you're going to, I'm not going to do that today. I'm not going to curse today. I'm not going to listen to drill music today. I'm not going, like, if that's what you're feeling called to do, that's good too, because it's sacrifice. It's important to you. Oh my God, something just dropped in my spirit. So I'm reading Mark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I like to read my gospels. I'm reading Mark, and it was something in there about the women with uh it's a widow or a woman who with 2 coins or something. So Jesus was talking about how people were giving, and it's like a donating time or whatever, and it was people that were rich and they were giving massive amounts of money or things, and it was like, oh wow. But then this lady, she literally only had 2 coins, and she put it there, and Jesus said that she gave more than everybody because that's all she had.
Yeah.
So, how that connects, because I don't even know what I was just talking about, but that just dropped in my spirit, where it's like whatever you're willing to give,
right,
is that's important to you. It makes a difference. So it's like,
and it's important to the kingdom.
Yeah, it's important. God knows what is important to you. So if you're willing to give up drill music for a week, it might seem silly to somebody else, like, what is you even listening to that for? But it's a big deal to me, and God knows it. So if I stop it, He will. Me and Him have that conversation, not you.
Yeah.
You know.
I love that. Keep the conversations between you and God. Find the thing that may have power over your flesh. If you feel called to fast, we encourage you to fast. If not, thank you for watching.
Yeah, or just read Matthew 6, or just talk to like a Muslim that's going through Ramadan.
I know Ramadan just passed too, so
it did.
people are on the other side too.
Can explain to you the importance of it.
Yeah, the power.
Because I feel like it's power there. It's power when you sacrifice. It's power when you give glory to God, and when you really give Him your attention in an area that is bothering you. You pray around it too, right? You pray around not just yourself, but for other people that you know are struggling, or even if you don't know they're struggling, because everybody's not going to tell you their struggles. But just pray for people in areas of all of the things, guys. We're living in a very rough time, and
we have to use our spiritual skills.
It's good. It's always a good spiritual tool to just deny your flesh, because honestly, that's the main thing. We're in a world, we are spirits having a human experience. So sometimes your human self be out here whack.
And then you wonder why you anxious or depressed. I'll never forget. And I was just about to end it because what you said was great, but what you just said made me think of, and it really rocked my world. You know how you watch something and it just linger, you always remember it. Anyway, there used to be this channel on YouTube called The Grapevine, where they would have discussions, like roundtable discussions. It was like black and brown people just talking about all different type of topics. And I don't remember the specific topic, but I do remember this young lady sharing a story about how, like you said, you don't know what people are going through. But her partner, her boyfriend at the time, was dealing with depression. She didn't know, but they were sleeping together, right? They're partners. And eventually she became sad. And always moving slow. But you good?
I'm gonna mute my thing. I'm gonna mute because I feel like it's something in the office.
Okay. Well, yeah, so the young lady had shared, she didn't know that her boyfriend was dealing with depression, but because, they were intimate, they're together, eventually she started to see that her spirit became depressed as well. And so I just thought of that when you talked about denying the flesh and how we are spirits, but we're having this fleshy experience, right? Being alive. And so that is an example of like, you think your partnership is fleshy, right? Because there's physical things that happen, but there's also a spiritual element. And it's just, again, there's just so many ways to fast. There's so many ways to deny the flesh. And there's so many ways to deny the flesh personally to honor and to cover other people in your life. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many ways. There's countless amount of ways.
Yeah, we could be here all day.
We could literally be here all day. It's more so about what's important to you. What's important to you might not be important to somebody else. So it's all about that, and God knows what's important to you. That's the main thing. It's all in your heart, and it comes from your heart. So just dig deep, my friends.
And on that note, sorry, I had to write something that came. Thank you for watching, and we love y'all. And yeah, we'll see you in the next episode.